Hello, welcome back to Green Hill Gaming, where I share my passion of video games with the whole wide world. In this live stream, I will be delivering to you lovely people the truth behind the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection. So sit back, relax, but as always, and more importantly, enjoy the live stream, which I'm now just going to share across social media. So just give me a few moments, please. Then I'll get stuck into the discussion. Okay, so yesterday, people got to go hands-on with the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, in particular video game media, including Push Square and Nintendo Life. And here's what happened. They were playing the Nintendo Switch version, and Nintendo Life reported that the PS2 games, in particular Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, and Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, were in 720p and 30 frames per second, and there was issues with the performance overall, which wasn't great news, was it? But then Push Square, which is the Nintendo equivalent, the PlayStation equivalent to Nintendo Life, they were told that this is going to be more or less the same on all platforms. So Push Square were pushing the narrative that even the PlayStation versions, PS4 and PS5 versions, were going to be in 720p. Now, I want to say something, and I have no problem saying it. I got it wrong myself in one particular area in last night's discussion live stream about this issue. I was wrong. I was saying that the PlayStation versions were in 30 frames per second, but they're actually in 60 frames per second. But Push Square were still reporting that the PlayStation versions, all versions, were going to be displayed in a 720p resolution. But that is false. The truth will prevail. Nicole, and welcome to the live stream. How are you doing, my good friend? Welcome to my latest discussion live stream. We've got Sonic music blasting in the background, as always, whenever I have a discussion live stream. I'll keep you talking about the end of the world. I'll keep you talking about an alien invasion. My life could very well be at risk, and Starlight's Own will be playing in the background because I'm a fucking nutjob. But the truth is out now, officially. Hello, cat. So there's a cat outside my window. I wish I had a camera that I could show you. You lovely cat. Yeah, but you can't hear me. Sounds if retarded. Should I tap the window? Okay, I'm gonna stop now. Konami have officially come out and said, look, Metal Gear Solid Master Collection on all platforms is going to have a resolution of 1080p, and only the Nintendo Switch version will be running in 30 frames per second. The other versions are going to be 60 frames per second. So that's the truth. Just wanted to get that out there, more importantly. So don't worry. Regardless of what platform you pick up Metal Gear Solid Master Collection on, you're going to be getting a 1080p resolution. But if you own the Nintendo Switch version, be prepared for 30 frames per second. The other platforms, including PS4, will have 60 frames per second. How do I feel about that? Resident Evil 1 Director's Cut on PlayStation Plus Premium runs in 60 frames per second. Twisted Metal as well, and I'm pretty sure that they are outputted They are upscaled to at least 1080p. I'm pretty sure on PS5 it's 4K. I'd have to research that, but they definitely look amazing. So like if PlayStation can do that with a PS1 game, sorry, I'm kind of so like okay. So as far as resolution is concerned, I don't see why Konami can't have these games on PlayStation with a resolution of 4K. Sorry, I got a bit confused there. Okay, so let me go back. So the Nintendo Switch version of Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, as I said, will run in 30 frames per second. That's been confirmed by Konami, and it'll be 60 frames per second on the other platforms. I mean, I don't have to stand here and give a TED Talks on why the Nintendo Switch is capable of running PS1 and PS2 games in 60 frames per second. I don't need to grab pie charts and statistics and... Do you know what I mean? Like, the Switch is more than capable of running PS1 and PS2 games to 60 frames per second. So I don't understand why Konami has made the decision to output those games in 30 frames per second. Like, we're not talking about porting over PS4 games to the Switch, you know, because obviously if you port a PS4 game to the Switch and you have 1080p and 60 frames per second, like that's going to blow up your Switch, basically, you know. I saw that earlier and thought of you. I said you were like, oh Johnny, you've got egg on your face. And I did have egg on my face, but hey, look, I didn't put that egg in my face. Push Square put that egg on their face. Did any of that make sense? No. Do I care? No. But yeah, it was Push Square that were reporting that Metal Gear Solid Master Collection had a resolution of 720p, which is not correct. However, I was wrong because I was going around saying that all the versions were running in 30 frames per second, but in actual fact, the PlayStation versions were running in 60 frames per second. So I got that wrong. I'll admit that, put my hand up in the air. I was wrong. Look, I still think it's lazy. First of all, I think it's lazy. 1080p, look, that's a great resolution for PS1 and PS2 games. Okay? It really is. I mean, nobody was playing Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, and Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater in 1080p when they originally released on PS2. So look, it's a good resolution, but if you're going to be putting that collection on a PlayStation 5 in particular, like, you could at least upscale the resolution to 4K. So I believe that it's still lazy on the behalf of Konami. Look, it's not the biggest issue in the world. I stood here last week ranting and raving about Rockstar Games and Take-Two with their lazy Red Dead Redemption port on PS4 and Switch. That was an issue that I felt needed really to be spoken about. I really feel like that kind of behaviour is not good for the gaming industry. But look, I'm not going to get my knickers in a twist, okay? I'm actually wearing knickers right now. Joke. Look, I'm not, right? It's not that big of an issue, but it's still a little bit lazy by Konami to do this. And again, like the Nintendo Switch, look, let me just, I don't need to be doing this, but the Nintendo Switch, like, has The Witcher 3 running on it. Does it look the same as the PS4 version? Of course it doesn't, because the Nintendo Switch is not as powerful as the PS4, but it's capable of running ports of PS4 games. More than capable. Mortal Kombat 11 was running in 60 frames per second on the Switch, and Mortal Kombat 1 is coming to Switch on the same day as the other platforms, and they're obviously going to be going for 60 frames per second. Ed Boon is not going to sanction a 30 frames per second Mortal Kombat. He's just not. He either would release it on Switch in 60 frames per second or not at all. Trust me. Um, I will eat my shoe live on stream if Mortal Kombat 1 runs in 30 frames per second on Switch. So look, the Switch is more than capable of running a PS1 and PS2 game in 60 frames per second. I will not repeat that. I do not need to remind people of that. If people need to be reminded of that, then God bless them, is all I can say. And that's lazy, like, it's just lazy. I mean, it just leaves a sour taste in the mouths of, Switch owners. Look, I'll get it on PlayStation, and I'll stream it, and I'll have so much fun playing those games. It doesn't really bother me, on a personal level, honestly. It's not that big of a deal. I don't even know. I think I just make this live stream just to update people on the situation, really, to be honest. I think companies are getting lazy with the Switch. Like, the last Pokemon shouldn't run that bad on a Switch. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting topic. It's a topic for another live stream, but it is an interesting topic, and I would acknowledge it. Yes, developers are getting quite lazy with the Switch. Even, like, first party, and Pokemon is an interesting one because it's not quite first party, but it's, like, you're not going to see Pokemon on PlayStation or Xbox, so I would consider it first party. Even Pokemon is running like crap on Switch. I bought that game last November and I still haven't played it. I'm waiting for that game to be in a working condition, to be fit for purpose. I mean, I spoke last week and I'll say it again, that Nintendo that Nintendo seal of quality means jack shit in today's world. So I'm not touching that piece of shit, okay, until it's in a condition that meets today's standard of gaming. Okay, but you're right. I mean, that's an example of Pokemon. But you know what though? There are some developers that go all out and put in the effort. I mean, even Konami's collection of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, they all run very well on Switch. They even have online as well. Particular circumstances where they decide to take the easy way out. I mean, honest to Christ, I mean, the Switch is more than capable of handling, of running a game like Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, and Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater in 1080p and 60 frames per second. There's absolutely no reason why that can't happen. So I don't know why I don't know. I don't have the answers, but I just think it's lazy. Regardless, I just think it really is lazy. I forgot what I was going to say. So come back to me very shortly. Gone. It's gone. Gone with the wind. Gone. Completely. Utterly. I'm stuck now. Gone, it's gone. See, I don't really have a whole lot to say about this, really. Because as I mentioned, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. It's just updating people on the situation, really. I mean, is it going to make a huge difference? I don't think so. I mean, these games were never in. These games were never in 60 frames per second. Actually, no, they actually were in America. NTCS or is it NTSC? So the American region for PlayStation 1 and 2. Yeah, those games were running at 60 frames per second, so yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's just a strange one that that Konami couldn't get the Master Collection running in 60 frames per second on Switch. And what's really interesting, and the same happened last week with the port of Red Dead Redemption. There was people attacking PlayStation. You had Xbox fanboys attacking PlayStation, saying, "Oh, look at this weak PS5. It can't even handle 4K 60 frames per second." And I'm just sitting there laughing because it had nothing to do with the PS5 hardware. This was down to Rockstar Games and Take-Two not putting any effort into this port. I mean, we all know the PS5 is fully capable of 60 frames per second and 4K. So with the Switch, like, you're going to get people saying, "Oh, look at this weak Nintendo Switch system. It's not even capable of 60 frames per second in 1080p." I mean, I'm pretty sure there actually are games on Switch that are 1080p 60 frames per second. And ironically, a lot of them would actually be ports of older games, like PS2 games, or even games that released on PS1 generation. So, I seriously don't need to continue to remind people that the Switch is capable of running Metal Gear Solid 1 on PS1 and Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 on PS2 in 60 frames per second. But look, those games are going to look beautiful in 1080p across all platforms. Oh yeah, here's what I wanted to say. Just 2 seconds there now. Here is what I wanted to say. So on the Nintendo Switch side of things, on the Switch screen, because obviously the Nintendo Switch screen has a 720p screen. If you're playing it on the OLED model, obviously you're going to get more vivid colors in 720p. Just OLED. And the OLED screen looks far better than traditional screens. So yeah, that is like Nintendo Switch's screen, so it's 720. But obviously, if you have a regular Switch or a Switch OLED, you can dock your Switch, so you will be able to play a full 1080p on your TV screen. I mean, they're going to look beautiful in 1080p. There's no denying that. I mean, I don't think there's that. If you're playing a game like Metal Gear Solid, doesn't really need 60 frames per second. You're not playing a fighting game, and you're not playing a fast-paced shooting game like Call of Duty. There is shooting in Metal Gear Solid. It plays a massive role in the game, of course it does, but it's more of a stealth, slow-paced kind of shooting experience. So, I mean, it's not that huge of an issue. I don't think there was rumors going around now for years, saying that there was going to be some type of Metal Gear kind of re-releases and whatever else. And, there was talks of remakes and re-releases and whatever else. But I don't think anybody was really expecting full-blown remakes of Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3, because there was already a remake of Metal Gear Solid 1. I think all people really wanted was what Konami are giving us, which is a collection of the classic Metal Gear games. So it's not like Red Dead Redemption, where people just automatically assumed and expected that a PS3 game would be remastered on modern platforms, and obviously that's not what happened. So I don't think this issue in particular is that big of a deal. I don't think people are reacting to it the same way that they're reacting to the Red Dead Redemption port. So that's a sign of things to come. I think laziness for not making a PS5 version. Wait a second. There is a PS5 version of the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, or are you talking about Red Dead Redemption? It should have been on PS4 years ago. Yeah, I know. Very true. I know there was a HD collection of Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3, which, by the way, are actually the versions that we're going to be playing in the Master Collection. But no, there was no Metal Gear Solid 1 or really classic early Metal Gear games as well, which are going to be included in this collection. And what's interesting is Volume 1. Volume 2 is going to be interesting. People are, I don't know, like, if Volume 2 is going to have, like, it might have Metal Gear Solid 4, but I don't know about 5. It's a pretty big game, like, I don't know about that. And I'm not even talking about, like, Nintendo hardware here, and I'm talking, like I don't know, that would be in a collection. I think you're probably more likely to see some of the more obscure Metal Gear games, like Metal Gear Rising, as an example. You know, some of the weird kind of like non-canon kind of sequels that were released on the earlier hardware, like back in the late 80s or the 90s, and possibly even like Twin Snake, which is basically a remake of Metal Gear Solid. I don't think it's going to be as straightforward like they're going to just do 4 and 5. I just don't think so. I mean, I could be wrong. But yeah, I mean, as Sabertac just messages me there on WhatsApp. Still, fuck them. I mean, yeah, I mean, fuck them, because at the end of the day, like, you're going to put this collection on PS5, which is a console that can. I mean, people bought 4K TVs, including myself, so they could, experience 4K gaming with the PS4 Pro and the Xbox. Christ Almighty, what their names? Phil. Come on, man. With your naming of consoles, what the hell was that called? What was it? What was the Xbox One Pro? What was that called? Xbox Series S, was it? Whatever the fuck it was called. People bought 4K TVs so they could experience 4K gaming. And obviously, like PS5 and Xbox Series X are like native 4K systems. So like, it's just, it would have been nice if we could experience Metal Gear Solid, the Master Collection in 4K. But they didn't. About 1080p, that's PS3. That's PS3 resolution. Like, the PS3 was a HD console. 1080p is HD. That's PS3 quality. I mean, even PS4 Pro had 4K. This is terrible. This is lazy. So still fuck Konami for doing this. Yeah, still fuck them. On the Switch side of things, it's just pathetic that they just couldn't be bothered putting in the most minimum of effort to run the Switch version in 60 frames per second. It's more than capable, like. It's more than you can emulate PS1 and PS2 games on the most budget smartphone. It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult, like. Yeah. God, I'm slowly running out of things to say already. What time is it now? I said I would make this an hour stream, so what time is it now? Time enough. But I'm still running out of things to say though. I don't know what else to say. You know me, I'm like a dog with a bone with these things. Keep on repeating myself. But sometimes it's good though to do that though, because when you repeat yourself, you're getting the point across very nicely. But yeah. But I don't think it's that big of a deal though. If it was 720p, 30 frames per second across all platforms, then that would be a big deal. I don't know. I mean, we should be thankful, I suppose. Konami are acknowledging Metal Gear, and they're putting together this collection, they're putting together some bonus material as well. Like, I mean, at least they're putting more effort into this than fucking Rockstar Games did with Red Dead Redemption, because they added in nothing to it, nothing whatsoever. Like, you can actually get walkthroughs, and you can check there's a soundtrack for it. I mean, we all know the soundtrack for Metal Gear is exceptional. So to be able to listen to like the best has yet to come in Metal Gear Solid 1 and Snake Eater and Metal Gear Solid 3, and the fucking iconic soundtrack for Sons of Liberty that still to this day gives me goosebumps. So, and then you have the artwork as well, as I mentioned. You've got like these kind of like graphic novels as well. So look, they're putting in the effort. So I've got to give them credit there. They're putting in the effort, but still, And on the resolution side of things across all platforms, 1080p, bit lazy, and 30 frames per second on Switch. Like I know that this is going to be like this is like base, like this is basically like base for like Nintendo haters to jump on this, and by God, I mean have fun is all I say to those people because they're going to have so much fun with this. Like I mean they will like use this as look at how crap the Switch is. It can handle PS1 and PS2 games in 30 frames per second. This is terrible, but they will deliberately choose to ignore the likes of The Witcher 3 on Switch and Mortal Kombat 1 and plenty of other big games as well, that are on Switch. No Man's Sky on Switch, for Christ's sake. So yeah. But look, once a Nintendo hater, always a Nintendo hater. Look, everyone has their own way of having fun in life. Let them have their fun. Let them have their fun. You know what I mean? But it's basically like it's an open goal for Nintendo haters, that's for sure. Oh dear me. But yeah, I mean, like this is not really. Last night was a bit more kind of like aggressive, like fuck you Konami kind of stream, because I was convinced I was going from Push Square, but obviously like I was also wrong. Like Push Square were saying that the resolution was 720p across all platforms, so I was reporting what they were saying, but I read it wrong and I thought that it was 30 frames per second across all platforms, but that was only the Switch version. But look, now it's confirmed by Konami that all the versions are going to be running in 1080p. So, but then again, though, see, I didn't play. I don't think I did. I haven't played the HD collection because there was a Metal Gear Solid HD collection. It was actually on PlayStation Now for quite a while. I played that, but I only played Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, which is basically the sequel to Metal Gear Solid 3. So I haven't experienced Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3 in HD, so that would be good. Do you know what I mean? It would be good, and also Metal Gear Solid 1 as well to have that in HD. I don't know. I mean, it would have been nice that again, just put a bit more effort in, seeing like those iconic moments in Metal Gear Solid 2 being outputted in 4K on PS5 and having 60 frames per second on the Switch. I mean, imagine Metal Gear Solid 2 in 60 frames per second, 720p on an OLED Switch. I mean, that would be great. That would be great. But let me know what you think. I have two viewers watching. One is probably just one of my many simps. Probably like sitting there alone, rubbing themselves in body oil, baby oil. Keep talking, Johnny. I love the sound of your voice. Rubbing the nipples and everything. But look, I do like, I mean, I am Johnny Cage after all, I need a drink. It's an orange juice. Oh, I'm having chicken curry rice today. Lovely. Just in my Ben's original. The wok. God, I can't say that. The wok rice. Fuck me. I actually can't say wok rice properly. Wok rice. If I say wok rice fast 10 times, I'm going to die. That's all I fucking know. There's the Matthew rice. Anyway, that's all prepared now for later. Just talking you through my my food routine. What the fuck is my orange juice, guys? Hey! Who the fuck took my orange? That's not fucking right. No, stop this. Oh, there it is. Couldn't see it. Right in front of me. That was needed. Lovely jubbly that was now. Yeah, but if you want to add anything to this discussion, feel free. Let me know what you think. I mean, I probably am making a massive deal out of this to be honest with you. Again, compared to Red Dead Redemption, I just feel like it's different. I know there's arguments to be made that it's similar, but I don't know. I just feel it's different. I don't know. I just feel like. I mean, we're talking about PS2 games here that haven't been released for a while, I'm saying. And even a PS1 game. I think it's probably because of how much money Rockstar games have, and how much people have been asking for a remake or a remaster of Red Dead Redemption, and then to get just bare minimum effort put into it. Whereas the Master Collection, has all of this like additional bonus content as well. I just feel like there's a difference anyway. I mean, I want to be as fair as possible. I don't want to be like targeting one video game company and ignoring another video game company. But I don't know. I just feel different about this. Are you excited for Gamescom? I'm actually in two minds on whether I want to watch it or not. I don't know. There's no new announcements. Or at least like no major new announcements anyway, at least. I mean, I'd imagine there'd probably be one or two new announcements, but they'd probably be on a much kind of like lower scale kind of thing. Like probably indie kind of games here and there. And as far as updates on games, like I am 100% going to buy Mortal Kombat 1. If I'm alive and well on September 19th, I am going to buy Mortal Kombat 1. I've already pre-ordered it. So I'm going to play Mortal Kombat 1. So I don't really need to see any more about that game. I don't want to be spoiled. Alan Wake 2, I haven't completed Alan Wake 1 yet, so if I see Alan Wake 2, chances are it could be spoiled. I can't think if they're going to be showing Sonic, but again, I'm going to buy Sonic. So I don't know, I just want to go into a game at launch that I know I'm going to buy, that I've already pre-ordered, and I want to go into it as fresh as possible. I want to see these, like the levels they're going to show tonight at Gamescom. I want to see them for the first time when I'm playing the game. And the same when it comes to new content for Mortal Kombat 1 as well. So I'm thinking of just giving it a miss. Sorry, Jeff. But I'm thinking of giving it a miss. And look, if any games get announced and it's major and it's something I really like, if it's like Resident Evil related or something, I'm sure I'll see it pop up on my newsfeed anyway. Like, so I don't know. I may watch it, I may not watch it. What about you? Are you excited? Anything you want to see announced or any updates on there? What's going to be the differences between the PS4 and PS5 of those games? Wait a second now. Which games? The Metal Gear Solid Master Collection. Because of the delay in comments showing up, I'll just presume that you mean the Master Collection. There is no difference between the PS4 and PS5 version. They're both going to be in 1080p resolution, and they're both going to be in 60 frames per second. So it begs the question, why the fuck is it releasing on PS5? Why would you even buy the PS4 version? If you have a PS... Oh, that's the strange one, yeah. Well, maybe people don't have a PS5 yet, that's all I can think of. But there's definitely no... Yeah, there's no difference between the two. It's literally the exact same. And you know what? I'm missing one very important point as well about the Switch. And considering that I have been primarily playing my Switch in handheld mode as of late, I completely disregarded the fact, and I even did this with Red Dead Redemption as well. Like, the thing about the one advantage that Switch will always have, right, when it comes to a multi-platform release, regardless of the resolution, regardless of the frames per second, regardless of any of that, the one advantage the Switch version will have is its portability. Now, people love Metal Gear Solid and Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3, so to be able to take those games with them, not just on the go, but just lying down on the couch, like with the screen in their hand, like they don't have to be sitting in a fixed position, like in front of a TV. Like their eyes don't have to be fixed in front of a TV screen. That they can literally be anywhere, experiencing these games. That is what the Switch version offers. That is what the advantage is of having the Switch version. So I should point that out too. Hello, Chad. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to another discussion live stream. These discussion live streams are becoming quite frequent lately, aren't they? How are you doing, Chad? So this is an update to my previous discussion live stream on the whole Metal Gear Solid Master Collection issue. Push Square were saying yesterday that the PlayStation versions, in fact all the versions, are going to be in 720p. Well, that is wrong. Konami have confirmed that all platforms will have 1080p resolution, and unfortunately for Switch owners, the Switch version is going to be 30 frames per second, and all of the other platforms will be in 60 frames per second. It's not the end of the world, but I still think, considering that people who buy this, as Nicolay very cleverly pointed out, there's a PS5 version of this. So why would you buy the PS5 version when you are literally getting the exact same resolution as PS4? What the fuck is she looking at? Who even is that? Sorry, I got distracted by real life. But yeah, still a bit lazy that Konami couldn't even have these PS1 and PS2 games running in 60 frames per second on Switch, and they couldn't upscale the resolution to 4K on PS5. Bit lazy, but look, not the end of the world. Get some coffee. I feel 1 year older. Oh, today's your birthday. Happy birthday, Chad. Sorry, completely forgot. You were looking for your Witcher 3 live stream, weren't you? Well, as promised, tonight... Who the fuck is that? Sorry. There's a very shady motherfucker. Well, he's not outside my door, but he's like in the driveway in my neighbour's house. So he looks a bit... I mean, if he wants his brown bread, I'll make him brown bread. You know what I mean? Thought you this would be interesting. Let's watch this. So I know there's a bit of an interesting scenario unfolding here in my hometown. It's good. I'm not okay. No, but seriously, happy birthday, Chad. I hope that you have a lovely birthday. Okay, it's okay. I was just looking at this guy. He looked a bit interesting, to say the least. But yeah, okay. I'll be honest, I completely forgot, but I will do my best to download and stream The Witcher 3 for your birthday tonight, Chad, if all things go according to plan. How are you, Strange Music? Welcome to the live stream. How are you doing? Welcome to the discussion where I'm talking about Konami and the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection situation. If you don't know what the situation is, well, it's been quite dramatic, but I won't kind of recap things too much. Basically, the Master Collection on all platforms is going to have a resolution of 1080p, and the Switch version will have 30 frames per second, and all the other platforms will have 60 frames per second, which is lazy because the Switch is more than capable of running PS1 and PS2 games in 60 frames per second. Anyone who has to be told that is a fucking retard. Just saying. And considering that there is a PS4 and PS5 version, what incentive do you have to buy the PS5 version? Because it literally has the exact same resolution and frames per second as the PS4 version. It's not going to be in 4K, which is lazy and disappointing. So yeah. Wait, how did your comment turn into I thought you literally said hi. It's a bit of a mindfuck. Why is your comment saying... That's strange. Well, to you as well. Strange music. Sorry. Yeah, I need to wrap up in about 20 minutes, I would say. But yeah, I mean, again, feel free to join in on the conversation. Let me know what you think. I still think it's lazy. I mean, just think of it. You own a PS5, a 4K No, this is not down to Sony here. Sony makes the hardware. The PS5 hardware is capable of 4K gaming, native 4K gaming, and they've already leased games upscaled to 4K. Okay, PS5 is more than capable of handling that. Okay, so people buy a PS5, 4K console, and they have a 4K TV, and then they hear that Master Collection is coming out, and they're not getting 4K resolution. It's lazy. It's lazy, like. I mean, the 4K gaming wasn't a thing, and PS5 wasn't a 4K console, fair enough, but like, I mean, why bother releasing it on PS5? As Nicole pointed out earlier, it's a good point. Why, like, what the hell does the PS5 version offer, you know, differently? Nothing as of yet. I'm still having a go at Konami, even though they're going to be displayed in 1080p. But that's, like, I mean, okay, the games are going to look good. Of course, they're going to look good in 1080p, but, I mean, come on, like, 4K consoles. Where's the 4K resolution? I don't see any 4K resolution. Come on, it's lazy. Pull the finger out. Yeah, I feel like I've kind of... So what do you think? Chad, what do you think? Strange Music, what do you think? Donald Trump, what do you think? Let me know. Before my battery dies on my phone. I'm too lazy to charge it up, to be honest. I still don't know whether to buy it or not, to be honest. Do you know what? If I do end up watching Gamescom, do you know what I want to? Do you know what would be my highlight of the Gamescom? If Jeff Keighley didn't sugarcoat the state of the video game industry, if he wasn't just a simp to all of these companies, and wasn't just like looking at the industry through rose-tinted glasses, I think, isn't everything so great? And having like a 5-minute montage of like, you know, like flowers and love hearts and everything is so great in the video game industry. You know, I would really appreciate if he just acknowledged Street Fighter 6 having a battle pass system. It's not even having microtransactions, but having a battle pass system. Anyone who knows what a battle pass system is, they know that a battle pass system is content that is locked behind that battle pass, and you have to purchase that battle pass to get the content. Like, I would like for Jeff Keighley to acknowledge that, instead of saying, guys, we're so excited to show you the new DLC fighter for Street Fighter 6, and then in 2 weeks time, to get his emote, you're gonna have to pay $5. I mean, seriously, like, or even acknowledge the Red Dead Redemption situation and say, I'm standing here 10 years, I still have yet to see a new GTA game. Or I'm standing here for 8 years and I still haven't seen a new release from Rockstar game. That I would love to see. Was that going to happen? Fuck no. Because some people like to look at the industry through rose-tinted glasses and act like everything is okay and fine, when it's clearly not. I don't have an urge to play it right away. I would wait for it. It seems to be the case for a lot of these kind of game releases. I wait for a sale. I'm sick of battle passes and all these. But see, the thing about it is, it's this. So you're sick of battle passes, Chad. Okay, I don't blame you. Let me add more to it. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. My issue is not with battle passes. My issue is not with microtransactions, And my issue is not with live service games. I have no issue with a free-to-play live service game like Fortnite, which offers millions, billions of people all over the world the opportunity to play a fun experience like Fortnite for absolutely free. I have no issue with a game like that offering microtransactions or battle passes, because you can play the game for free. You haven't paid a cent for this game. I've no problem with that. The issue is, the problem I have is when you pay full price, €70 for a game like Street Fighter 6, and instead of having the opportunity to earn cosmetic content through playing the game, the cosmetic content is locked behind a paywall that will cost you €5 every month. They had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collaboration as of late, and to get all of that content, it will cost you €80, which is €10 more than the game itself. That is an issue. That's an issue. And I don't have an issue with microtransactions in games, even fully priced games, because the way that Mortal Kombat 11 handled microtransactions, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to handle Mortal Kombat 1's microtransactions exactly the same way, is they give the players a chance, so a choice and an opportunity. You can play it through Mortal Kombat and unlock all the content in-game, or you have the option to use microtransactions to unlock everything. It's a choice, up to the player. But Mortal Kombat is not forcing you to, to purchase battle passes and unlocking content behind paywalls. So it's about how it's done in my book, too. So yeah, and subscriptions. I mean, like things like GTA Plus. That is just. I hadn't even spoken about GTA Plus that much, but the concept of it. I mean, imagine a game that came out 10 years ago on PS3, right? And all the people that bought that game, and then they bought the re-release on PS4. Imagine Take-Two turning around and saying, "Hi, do you want to, even though you paid full price for this game, do you want to sign up to GTA Plus?" I mean, anyway, we ain't talking about GTA Plus, but yeah, so I mean, on everything I just spoke about there, GTA Plus and Street Fighter 6, I mean, that and Red Dead Redemption earlier, like that does pale in comparison though to this situation though. I have to admit that though. I mean, frames per second. So there's games, people play a certain PS5 games on 30 frames per second because they have a choice if they want to have it in 4K or they want to have it in 60 frames per second. Performance or graphics or whatever it's called. So that's not like, it's not an alien concept to play even more. Starfield is 30 frames per second. So it's not that much of an issue, really. It just would have been nice if all the platforms had the same resolution and the same frames per second, So it's still a little bit lazy, But yeah, the purpose of this live stream was just to update people, on the situation. I've got about 15 minutes left. Anything else that you lovely people want to add to the discussion? Let me know, please. Because I'm doing all the talking. No, I'm not going to put anyone under any pressure to comment. It's okay if you want to comment. I'm absolutely panned out from all the talk. I was talking as well though last night about the possibility of Konami censoring these games. I'd say to people, I say to you, and I say to you now, maybe hold off on actually buying the game. I know that if you pre-order you get some extra content, but you can literally pre-order a game digitally a day before it comes out, and maybe physically about a week before it comes out. So I would imagine at that stage, people should be able to see whether or not these games are actually censored. Then again though, if it's a straightforward port, which it is, if it's especially if it's only going to be in 1080p. I don't think it would be easy for them to go into specific parts of that game and censor out stuff. Like that would be quite. I would imagine that would be quite tasking. I don't think it would be as easy to do that. So yeah, there's a good possibility that the games will be in their entire form. Hopefully they will be in it. Actually, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, fun fact if people don't already know this, that game already got censored because of 9/11, for obvious reasons. I think there was supposed to be like a scene like where I think the World Trade Center like blew up or something like that. Do you know where you get conspiracy theorists? They just want everything to be a conspiracy theory. Like, I mean, I'm one to talk about controversial topics. I am one to, to believe in conspiracy theories, even though most of them end up becoming factual. But, there is people who just want everything to be a conspiracy. Like, everything. I don't like the way that crow is looking at me. He was sent here by the government to watch my every move. I'm telling you, he's different to the other crows. Like, there are people out there like that. Everything around them has to be a conspiracy. That is a mental illness right there. Seriously, all joking aside. I mean, yes, there are things happening in this world that are kept secret for various reasons. And therefore, that is a conspiracy. That is factual. That happens. Look around you. In various scandals that come out. That exists. But, people just look for conspiracy theories now. Anyway, my point is this. Those people that say like, oh, did you see that movie where you see the towers going down? They knew. They knew. Did you see the Simpsons in the 9? They knew. They knew. No. See. New York City has these very large buildings. You couldn't miss them. They've been there for a number of years before 2011. You're going to make a movie that revolves around terrorism, right? War, conflict, whatever, criminality, bombs, explosions, weapons. Is it really far-fetched to say that they wouldn't have thought? Well, because what you have to understand is we're looking at it post 9/11, where the buildings did actually go down. But go back before that, they weren't saying, "Oh no, we couldn't do 9/11 because 9/11 has happened." It didn't happen yet, did it? Did it? No. So obviously, people who were making these stories thought, "Well, we'll make a story where we're knocking down to the World Trade Center." You know what I mean? Like, or maybe think about it from this, right? The terrorists. Maybe they're fans of The Simpsons. Maybe they saw these shows and said, "Oh, that's a great idea. We're going to attack America." So I watched this movie last night. I watched an episode of The Simpsons last night. And yeah, it'd be a good idea to attack the World Trade Center. See, I look at things very differently. And that's what you have to do in life. Look at things differently. But yeah. Anyway, that's another conversation for another day. That guy outside your house is a conspiracy. He's gone now. He just looked like it. No, he just looked a bit like, he looked like he was ready to fight. You know what I mean? And I would have went out, headset on. Yeah? Headset on. Right? Sleeves rolled up. Ready to go. Yeah? And then it would have been knocked the fuck out and it would have been on my ass and I would have been calling an ambulance. But anyway. Oh god, but I wouldn't back down though, that's the thing. That's the thing. The face. Whatever the fuck comes to me. Yeah. That's the way you have to do shit in life. But yeah, Jesus Christ, we kind of went a bit off track there, didn't we? He was sent by Konami. That wouldn't surprise me though. That's not even the conspiracy, that wouldn't surprise me. But look, you have to give Konami credit where credit is due, because there's a gun put in my head right now, and if I don't disgrace Konami right now. This guy is going to blow my fucking brains out. So, hi, I am Johnny from Green Hill Gaming. You may know me from various video game streams across the years, where I've played games like Sonic, Mortal Kombat, and Final Fantasy. From time to time, I like to make controversial videos. Well, I made a misjudgment when I discussed Konami, and my information was non-factual, and I'd like to apologize to Konami right now for the things I have said, for the false information I have said about Konami. Literally happens though. Literally happens. At least you would have challenged him. Yeah, exactly. Well, face to face with him and challenge this motherfucker. But no, but like I mean, it's look, Konami are acknowledging Metal Gear, which is something that they weren't doing for quite a long time, and there have been so many rumors going around, you know, about Metal Gear, Silent Hill. So at least they're doing it now. It's happening now. You know, we can put all that to rest now. We're getting the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake and the Silent Hill 2 remake and lots of other Silent Hill games. And they're acknowledging Metal Gear. They're celebrating Metal Gear. I mean, am I really going to get my knickers in a twist for like frames per second? I don't think it's worth it. But this live stream was just more of a update, just to let people know what's actually happening with this Master Collection, because a lot of people were confused, myself included, because we were going by what these the video game media were saying. They didn't quite know the full story, you know. So now that we know the full story, you know, we can relax a bit. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Time's enough. There's my controller. It's warm here in Ireland today. So warm. About 5 more minutes left, I'd say. But yeah, I gotta say though, I mean, the idea of being able to play classic Metal Gear Solid games is pretty cool. And again, earlier, I completely I quite literally just forgot what the Switch is. You know, and again, considering that I'm playing it in handheld mode like for so long, like, you know, you think like this is a handheld console. So like these games are with you anywhere you go, like, and you know, so that's the advantage of the Switch version has, you know. Oh, do you know about double dipping though? I don't think I'll be double dipping. Not when it's going to be like 50, 60 euro. No. I'd have to make a conscious decision of which version I'm going to get. To be honest though, the more I'm thinking about it now, there is something quite nice about being able to have a game like Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 in your hand. Although I did play Metal Gear Solid 3 portable, so there is that. But then again, I can just, the only thing I'm missing out on by getting the Switch version is 60 frames per second. And I mean, is that big of a deal? I think it is. I mean, considering, like, if we were talking about what Rockstar Games did with Red Dead Redemption, if we were talking about just literally like a PS1 port that was in like 420p, right? Didn't have any bonus content or anything like that. There's no soundtrack, no art book, graphic novel. Like, I probably wouldn't be as positive as I am about it, you know. I would get the Switch version unless you want to stream it. Yeah, that's the thing. I would like to stream it. I would like to talk, especially Metal Gear Solid 3. Oh, I'm streaming it. I am streaming it. And the first game that I'm going to stream is Metal Gear Solid 3, and it's appropriate because it actually is the beginning of the timeline. People, I'm moving my arms around here from standing. I just realised I'm practically fucking doing the fucking floss, kind of. That's so fucking cringe. If you saw me now, I don't know. I'm doing a bit of stretching. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna get it on PS5 because I want to stream Metal Gear Solid 3. That is the only reason. That game has an amazing fucking story that is so meaningful and inspirational, and I just take away so much from that game. To actually wrap up the live stream, I'm actually going to talk a little bit about that story. It's just bits and pieces of it that I just take away from it. The game mentions politics, that it's a living thing, and it changes with the times, and war, right? Like the countries that are on each side of the battlefield. Like today, your enemy in the battlefield could be your ally, like in years to come. And that like a soldier, like the people that are on the battlefield, that they're just like, they're nothing more than tools, and they're just like, it's loyalty to the mission, which is a quote in that game, as opposed to like loyalty to yourself, your comrades, and what you know. So it's really just about how just systematic politics and war actually is, and that, you know, it's about like breaking free from that, no problem, Chad. Listen, happy birthday, man. Have a great birthday, and I'll try and down the butcher treat tonight if I'm not too tired or too lazy. I completely forgot to say it was your birthday. So I'll catch you in the next live stream, Chad. But yeah, just the themes of that game, Metal Gear Solid 3, today still stands. You know, it still stands to me. Like it's such a strong message, you know, that like, you know, that we shouldn't live our lives separated by borders and, you know, flags and like looking at a country as an enemy, when in reality is, in years to come, there could be an ally, and just fighting for yourself, fighting for what you believe in, basically. So yeah, very inspirational stuff indeed. So yeah, I am going to end the live stream right now. Again, look, this live stream discussion was more of a news update than a rant, really. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but Metal Gear Solid Master Collection will be in 1080p across all platforms, and it will be 60 frames per second on every platform except Switch, which isn't the biggest issue in the industry. So that is the news. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next live stream.